Hello everyone. Welcome to another day. Today we're going into phishing. Phishmas greetings. For today's video we have cyber with pen and how. So today is about phishing, like we just read. We will learn how to spot phishing, learn trending phishing techniques, and understand the difference between spam and phishing. Maybe this room will be a little bit more obvious to everybody because everyone at some point related to IT or even web development has dealt with phishing or spam. So yeah, so let's go into the room and see what happens. I already started the machine. Today we just need to go into the link and see the page. Yeah, so but first let's try and take a look at what they have for us. It's a lot of text, but I will try to summarize it as much as I can. Yeah, so phishing is the oldest trick in the book, and it's one of the most effective. Common intentions we had phishing is credential theft, malware delivery, data exfiltration, so stealing data, and financial fraud. Here they prepared a phishing sample for us. As we can see, it's from Peter, and one of the clues could be a free domain, and they also do a social engineering test. So here they tell us that they've changed their account of email and they are asking the company to change the email that they have stored for the payroll for this one, and they want to know what they need to give the company to change that account. This actually happened with me in a job that I was in. They tried to contact HR telling that it was me and that I wanted to change my account numbers to receive the payroll. It was actually kind of funny, but thankfully that company had specific policies in motion that stopped this from going through. So they always talk with the person directly to see if they really wanted to go through with the changing of account number. Yeah, they also tell us why spam is not phishing. So the objective of spam is more about promoting the scams, traffic generation, clickbait, and data harvesting. So now they are going over some techniques that they use in phishing, for example, impersonating. Here we can see the example of someone trying to impersonate Max Kitty. Yeah, this is the email. And yeah, so we can see here that first we should check if the sender email matches the internal domain. In this case, it's from a free Gmail account and not the domain itself. Now you can also have social engineering as a tool, and they use the same email as an example. In this case, what sort of techniques does social engineering have? So impersonation, you can fake being someone, in this case Max Kitty. There is always a sense of urgency. They ask immediately for VPN access. They try to tell the users to use a side channel. So instead of sending to the original email, they ask to send to the fake email. And malicious intent, so they want to have the VPN credentials. This is a phishing attempt. Impersonation, social engineering text, sense of urgency. Yeah, we can submit this one. And we have... Okay, so you need to do this. I don't know if there is a certain order to it, but maybe we can do them all at the end. But now that we have this flag, we can put it. Is it the third? Yeah, okay. So yeah, so let's continue going over the materials that they have, and then we can go back and fill in the questions. So there's also typosquatting and punycode, which is very interesting. For example, typosquatting can be replacing known letters for similar letters. They give the example of GitHub. This, if you just take a look at the first sight, they look very similar, but one uses the lowercase l and the other uses the I. They give some more examples here. Google with a U, GitHub with an L, Amazon with an O, missing an S for Victoria's Secret has double S's, here is only one, and they invert the reversed letters. And they also have punycode, which is very, very, very interesting and has a lot of potential. So when you typing punycodes in the browser URL, they will be translated into hexacode. What does this mean? There are certain writing systems like Chinese, Cyrillic, and Arabic that have certain letters that we don't have in an ASCII keyboard, in an ASCII writing system. And so they can replace identical Latin letters, for example, a standard Latin I, with a Greek A. And here we can see an example of the tryhackme, but with the Cyrillic T, R, and Y. And it's very similar, as you can see. But when it's, yeah, so in the bar view, you see something similar to this. Yeah, this is very powerful because it enables attackers to register malicious domains and trick the users into believing that they are actually going into the correct domain. And yeah, they tell us to open the email. If you want, you can stop this video and go and look for the email that they are talking about. But yeah, I'm going to do everything on the end. And they give us an easy way to identify punycodes, which is see the return path field in the email headers. So yeah, so here maybe you don't see that the F is not a Latin letter. So in this case, they use the real Latin instead of the normal F. And so if you can take a look here, it looks slightly weird. Yeah, you also have spoofing, which is also a very powerful technique. Spoofing is like they fake the domain that they are sending the email from, so it appears as the correct email. But if you go and see the headers, you can take a look in the return path field what is the real email that they are sending this one from. So we can see here that the real email is this easterbb.com and not the calls@tbfc. So spoofing, as you can see, is really powerful if you aren't taking a look at the headers, but like they say here, modern email clients can easily reject spoofing attempts. But in this case, Wareville email protection is down, so for their example, we don't have this kind of protections, but Gmail, Microsoft, etc. have these protections. And they also give us the example on the authentication results. So they highlight SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. And if both SPF and DMARC fail, it's a strong sign that the email is spoofed. And in most cases, they reject the email. So in most modern websites. And yeah, finally, you have malicious attachments, which, as the name implies, it's a attachment that can contain virus, malware, and normally they are delivered with social engineering also. Yeah, and they tell here how can these attachments work, so they can install malware, steal passwords, or give access to device or network. Yeah, so they are saying that normally HTML files are sent because they can run on the browser. So if you have script tags on there, you can run those script tags. Yeah, so they tell us here that with time and experience, people started getting really good at detecting phishing and running away from this. So instead of sending malware files, which are easily caught, they now focus on tricking users into leaving the company's secure environment. So this is why that social engineering is one of the most powerful techniques all across cybersecurity. And they often use legitimate tools or websites to make it more trustworthy from the point of view of the target. So yeah, so they have this diagram that you can take a look and explains well how they do it. Yeah, so they can use legitimate applications like Dropbox, Google Drive, Docs, and OneDrive. Yeah, so they give an example that the shared file can contain a very attractive proposal, such as a salary raise. Yeah, so here we can see that they use the fake domain with punycode, and they use the supposed legitimate application, which is OneDrive, and a very attractive proposal. So they want to gain credibility and lure users into thinking it's from the real TBFC team. They also, like I told you a few weeks ago, fake login pages are very trending. I think it's easier than ever to make a fake login page, especially with AI, that looks identical to login pages, and with spoofing or punycode, etc., you can make similar URLs. Yeah, so in this case, we have a fake Microsoft login page and the fake domain, and side channel communication, because they want you to talk in a channel that they control, so not the company emails themselves. In this case, they try to talk via WhatsApp instead of using the company email. So if you are in a company setting, you should use the company channels. Only use known company channels with people that you can trust and speak directly. So yeah, so now that we went over all of that, let's go into the emails and try and identify which are spam and which are not. Yeah, so here we have an invoice to pay, and if we go here, we can see that the return path is not the email that they are trying to actually spoof, which in this case is services and PayPal. We can also see that the SPF, it's failing, the DKIM, it's also a fail. So yeah, so it's most likely a a phishing attempt, and they want us to pay this amount of money. Yeah, and they even give you tips to pay this. Oh, and they have a lot of links detected. So yeah, in my opinion, this is clearly phishing. They are trying to impersonate. They are using spoofing, and it's a fake invoice. Okay, so spoofing is not correct, and fake invoices is not correct. Oh yeah, so this was the correct flag. So it's not impersonation because this is being sent from the real PayPal, but it was triggered by someone that you shouldn't pay to. So this is the one that has a new audio message from MaxKiddy, and as we can see, it's not an audio file, it's an HTML file. The return path is also not valid. So it's impersonation, malicious attachment. There's at least 3. Okay. External sender domain? No. Spoofing? Yeah, okay, so it's spoofing. Okay, some of them are kind of confusing, but let's go. Okay, so they are using legitimate means, in this case applications, in this case Dropbox, to send us the annual salary raise approval. Oh yeah, so Neymar Jr. is working at BFC, as we know. So this is phishing. We have, so we can see that everything passes. So this is the real Dropbox. Yeah, so we got it correct. It's impersonation, external sender domain, and social engineering text. So if we go to the 5th, yeah, so this is the example that they give as spam, one of the first examples. And yeah, so let's go to the last email. Yeah, so it's similar to the Dropbox one, but in this case, they are using punycode. So it's phishing. They are using punycode, punycode, impersonation, right? If they are doing punycode, it's impersonation, and they are doing a Christmas laptop upgrade agreement. So social engineering text, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so yeah, so be careful. Don't be like me. Try and understand the exercises correctly instead of clicking it everywhere and just seeing what works. But yeah, I hope you like this. This was a quick one and with a lot of theory, but it's also an interesting topic to see and understand so that you can better defend against this kind of attacks. And don't forget that these are simple attacks. There are really complex attacks that can even deceive professionals. So yeah, so be careful with what you open, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next image.